The handling of a vehicle is limited to the grip between the tires and the road surface. If your tires lose their grip on the road surface, you may lose the ability to keep your vehicle under control. The anti-lock braking system maintains directional stability while braking. If you've ever had to brake hard on a slippery road, you know how easily your wheels can start to lock. Here on a wet testing ground, the rider's task is to brake hard to steer around a virtual obstacle. No matter how much steering angle the rider inputs, the vehicle does not react correspondingly. That's because locked wheels can't generate any force to steer the vehicle in the desired direction. Now let's see what the ABS does under the same test conditions. The rider slams on the brakes, but now the wheels are prevented from locking. The rider is still able to maneuver the Spyder, for instance, to avoid the virtual obstacle. Let's take a look at how the system works. Sensors monitor the rotation of all three wheels, enabling the ABS control unit to detect any variation in wheel rotation. If any one of the wheels is at risk of locking, the ABS briefly reduces brake pressure on it, preventing wheel lock from occurring. This intervention is repeated in rapid succession and can be performed independently on each wheel, ensuring that they all maintain uniform rotation speed. Therefore, the wheels remain available to generate steering control force in response to the rider's input. In short, the ABS assists the rider with vehicle directional control in difficult maneuvers. The traction control system, or TCS, prevents the rear wheel from slipping excessively. This keeps the Spyder from losing all propulsive force. In this example, the Spyder accelerates out of a sharp curve on a slippery road surface. The rider applies too much throttle, causing the rear wheel to slip. This leads to oversteering, prompting immediate corrective control input from the rider to prevent the vehicle from skidding out of control. The same maneuver, but this time with TCS activated. Excessive slipping of the rear wheel is prevented, keeping the Spyder on track while achieving optimal acceleration given the slippery road conditions. The rear wheel speed sensor continuously transmits the rear wheel speed to the TCS control unit. Every time the wheel shows a tendency to slip excessively, with its grip breaking loose from the road surface, the TCS reduces engine torque for a moment by regulating engine ignition and fuel injection. This allows the rear wheel to remain within the limit of the grip between tire and road surface. The Spyder can now accelerate out of the curve with minimal corrective control input from the rider. The stability control system reduces the risk of losing control of the Spyder should you suddenly need to swerve around a road hazard. Here we'll use the ELK test to demonstrate the stability control system. The Spyder has to make a sudden lane change to avoid a virtual obstacle on the track. This abrupt veering motion increases the lateral forces on the vehicle. Once these forces reach a critical point, the wheels start skidding and can even lift off the road. When the stability control system is activated, it analyzes the vehicle's movement. By applying brake pressure to each front wheel individually and reducing the engine torque on the rear wheel, the stability control system makes sure the rider remains in control. The stability control system continuously analyzes the motion and forces as they come into play to disturb vehicle stability. Throughout the swerving intervention initiated by the rider, the SCS constantly monitors the handling parameters, detecting the onset of wheel lift caused by this abrupt steering input. The SCS will intervene to assist the rider in keeping the vehicle under control by reducing the engine torque transmitted to the rear wheel and simultaneously braking on the outer front wheel. The rider's second abrupt steering motion may cause excessive oversteer. Again, the SCS intervention of braking the outer front wheel assists the rider in keeping the vehicle on its intended path. The VSS functions are standard features of the Can-Am Spyder Roadster, so that the rider can operate the vehicle more safely. However, there is no substitute for a prudent driving style and good common sense when it comes to ensuring a safe and enjoyable ride. Illustrations of vehicle paths may differ depending on the conditions and environment. You must read the operator's guide and watch the safety DVD. All tests were performed by professional riders on controlled testing grounds or in a virtual environment. Do not attempt to reproduce them. The vehicle stability system as demonstrated in this film cannot be deactivated. The vehicle stability system was deactivated on this vehicle only for demonstration purposes. Read and pay special attention to your operator's guide and to the safety labeling on your vehicle. Watch the safety DVD for important information concerning your vehicle and safety to reduce the risk of injury. Severe injury, including death, can result from ignoring warnings or through improper use of the vehicle. Always ride responsibly and safely. Follow all instructional and safety materials. Always observe applicable local laws and regulations. Always wear a helmet, eye protection, and appropriate protective clothing. And always remember that riding and alcohol and/or drugs don't mix. Bombardier Recreational Products Incorporated reserves the right at any time to discontinue or change specifications, prices, designs, features, models, or equipment without incurring obligation. Some models depicted may include optional equipment. Products are distributed in the USA by BRP USA Incorporated. Vehicle performance may vary depending on weather, temperature, altitude, riding ability, and rider or passenger's weight.